Here is my audience. Hello everyone, I'm Leanne Lamberton, a public speaking student at Comanche High School. Today I'll be giving you all an informative speech on Elizabeth Cady Stanton. She's a women's suffrage leader. Where would today's society be if women were still unable to vote? Well, thanks to Elizabeth Cady's efforts during the women's suffrage movement, we don't even have to think about that question. As a woman in today's society, I can gladly give thanks and appreciation to Elizabeth for helping women like me get the right to vote. Elizabeth's drive and determination played a major role in her success. So to begin my speech, I'm going to start talking about her early life. Then I'll move on to Elizabeth's career, and then I'll finish up talking about her impact on women's rights in general. So now I will begin and start talking about Elizabeth's eventful life. Elizabeth's early life played a major role in her career and other things in her adult life. Elizabeth was born November 12, 1815. Elizabeth was born to her father, Daniel Stanton, who was a lawyer, and her mother, Margaret Stanton, who later passed away. During her childhood, her father sadly prioritized her brother, and this, many could say, played a major role in her drive for equality. Elizabeth attended 2 schools in her early life. The first school where she got her basic pre-K through 12th grade education. Both boys and girls did attend this school. She then moved on to get a higher education at a female seminary where she planned on becoming a lawyer, but later found out she could not do that. Elizabeth later attended a women's rights convention. At this convention, she met other women's suffrage leaders. This included women like Susan B. Anthony, who we all know and we all love. We all know she's very influential, just like Elizabeth Cady Stanton. This involved, during this time period, Elizabeth and the other women drafted the Declaration of Sentiments. This document allowed for women to be landowners and get a divorce from their husbands. During the Women's Rights Convention, Elizabeth decided to begin her journey of becoming a women's rights leader. Elizabeth decided her career was to be a women's rights activist, and she knew this is what she was very passionate about. So, women's suffrage does begin, and Elizabeth realizes that she has to travel the world giving lectures and speeches on why women are equal and deserve to be treated equal. According to Biography.com, Elizabeth drafted the 19th Amendment on June 4th, 1919. According to Biography.com, Elizabeth worked side by side with the U.S. government and Susan B. Anthony working on equality in the U.S. Elizabeth can also be considered an author because Elizabeth wrote books with Susan B. Anthony about women's suffrage and their experience during this whole process. She also was the main author for many of big documents and declarations, which was a big deal for women at the time. With help of Elizabeth's career, women now have rights. Women have rights because of Elizabeth Cady Stanton's efforts. We have the right to vote, which is also known as the 19th Amendment. Today, women have the right to vote, and we don't have to worry about it, thanks to her. And we can all give her thanks. Without Elizabeth Cady's efforts, the U.S. would still not be able to evolve into a more equal society. And according to Biography.com, the U.S. would still be considered stuck in medieval times if Elizabeth would not help women get their basic rights. Most women would still have to bow down to the male figure in their life, whether that be their father or husband, or even cousins and uncles. And they would not be allowed to have their own opinions and be their own person and be heard. She also was a big promoter for equality for all in general. According to Biography.com, it hurt Elizabeth when her father chose to favor her brother over her. She vowed that she would never treat another person less than she was, whether that was she couldn't judge you based off of your skin color or your gender or who, like, just the way you acted. Like, you were a person to her no matter what. She wanted everyone to be considered equal, and that's what she thrived to do. So now, with help from her, we are all equal here. Without Elizabeth, a woman would not be able to get out of an abusive relationship, which we still see today, which is very sad, but we still have the option to get divorced, thanks to her. With the option of women being able to divorce abusive men, Elizabeth has made the U.S. a better place for women. With all of the information I have given, I can now start wrapping up my speech. I have shown you that with Elizabeth's drive and determination, she became so successful and influential. First, I explained Elizabeth's early life and how it impacted her career, and then I explained her career within itself. Lastly, I explained her impact she had on women in the U.S. Women are now able to vote and have rights We do not have to worry about our basic rights. I would just like to give a big thanks and appreciation to Elizabeth Cady Stanton being a woman. So thank you. Thank you for all listening. Here is my audience.